Welcome to Kraton Chemicals, and thank you for visiting our facility. We want to make sure your time here is safe and productive. This video presentation will help you understand the significant environmental, health, safety, and security aspects of the site, and the requirements we've established to help ensure your safety while at this facility. At Kraton, we embrace a global dedication to the health and safety of our visitors, employees, customers, neighbors, and environment. We require that you abide by our regulations and remember that you are the key to keeping yourself and those around you out of harm's way. If you have any questions after viewing this video, please direct them to the Kraton representative coordinating your visit. The Pensacola plant manufactures terpene phenolic resins. We use waste products from the pulp and paper industry to manufacture environmentally friendly products. Our finished non-hazardous products are used in the high-end tire and frozen packaging industry. Our site employs 18 employees and uses a batch process to manufacture terpene phenolic resins. Our plant sits on 23 acres and is adjacent to Reichhold, a polymer manufacturer, and Armstrong, who manufacture ceiling tiles. When you visit, you should park your car in visitors' parking and proceed to the security guardhouse to check in and obtain a badge. If permitted by management, you may be allowed to park behind the administrative building that is shown on the visitor's handout map as contractor parking. Your badge must be returned when the visit or job is completed. The badge is for you to use only and cannot be given to anyone else. Please report all lost badges to the security guard. Plant entry. Your badge must be used for entrance in and exit out of the facility and should be clipped to your clothing, so it is visible at all times. Badge swipes are tracked to account for personnel in the event of an emergency. Two primary ways to enter the facility are through the main truck gate near the security guard house, or through the employee entrance located near the employee parking lot. During your visit, you are not allowed to enter areas other than those discussed or authorized upon initial entry to the facility. Vehicles on plant property. If your visit requires you to enter the main production area, you must check in with an A operator located in the control room. Personal vehicles are not allowed on site without management approval. If you are permitted to drive onto the plant site, your vehicle will be subject to search by the security guard. You must obey all plant traffic control signs. The speed limit of 10 miles per hour must be obeyed. Your seatbelt must be worn at all times, and you must yield right away to pedestrians, forklifts, and other vehicles. When you are outside of your vehicle, be mindful of movement of other vehicles, including forklifts and tank trucks, as the driver's visibility might be obstructed. Never leave your vehicle's engine running unattended. Dress code. Due to hazards related to the type of operations performed at Kraton, anyone entering a production area must follow strict guidelines in regards to protective gear. Protective equipment and proper dress is required for your safety. Long-sleeve shirts and long pants are required when entering any manufacturing and laboratory areas. Tank tops, shorts, dresses, and canvasback or open-toed shoes are not permitted. Dangling jewelry, including long neck chains and bracelets, and long earrings are prohibited in manufacturing areas. Required personal protective equipment consists of a hard hat and safety glasses with side shields. For work in the plant by contractors and others, ANSI-approved safety footwear is required. Respirators, face shields, goggles, Tyvek suits, or other protective equipment may be required depending on the nature of your visit. Your Kraton representative will specify if additional equipment is required. If you work in a combustible dust or flammable liquid classified area, you are required to don flame-resistant FR clothing. Rules to keep you safe. As you know, your safety and the safety of everyone at Kraton is our top priority. Follow these general rules to reduce the possibility of any safety hazards. Kraton is a tobacco-free facility. This includes dip, e-cigarettes, and other tobacco products. They are permitted only in those areas outside of the plant. Smoking is not permitted on any part of Kraton property, including inside vehicles. You must smoke on the sidewalk outside of the property should you smoke or use tobacco. Food and beverages must not be consumed anywhere in the plant except in designated break areas. Ask your Kraton host where consumption of food and beverages is permitted. Potable drinking water is available throughout the plant at various control rooms and coolers. Do not drink water from hoses, hydrants, or eyewash stations. Cameras, including video equipment, are not permitted without specific permission from Kraton management. Cell phones and PDAs capable of taking a picture are considered cameras and must be left in your vehicle in the parking lot. Our site has combustible dust and flammable liquids. Therefore, the use of cell phones and other electronic devices are prohibited in production areas. Observe barricades including caution and danger tape. Do not ride in the back of any pickups on site. Possession of alcoholic beverages or controlled substances is not permitted on the premises. Anyone suspected of being under the influence of alcohol or controlled substances will be escorted from the property. Possession of weapons, firearms, or explosives of any type are also prohibited anywhere in the facility. The general or host contractor is responsible for ensuring subcontractors meet the same requirements established by contractors as stated in this training and our contractor safety program. Emergencies. If you are injured while on the plant site, your injury must be reported to your Kraton representative. If your injury requires treatment, first aid and CPR assistance is available on site. If you get a chemical on your skin or in your eyes, go to the nearest shower and eye wash station and flood the affected area with water for at least 15 minutes. If you observe what appears to be an abnormal or potentially hazardous situation, you should immediately bring it to the attention of your Kraton representative. In case of an emergency within the plant and you do not see an employee nearby to assist you, the following steps should be used to activate the emergency alarm system. Go to any plant telephone. You can find phones in the offices, lab, maintenance, and production areas. Dial 111 or 133 and wait for the security guard to answer. If the guard does not answer, dial 911 to get help from the local fire department. If the guard answers, inform the security guard of the nature of the emergency. Instructions to the guard should include the nature of the emergency, its location, and assistance needed. There are process alarms in the plant that are not emergency alarms. If you have questions about the alarms while in the plant, ask your representative. When describing the emergency, give enough detail to the security guard so that they can make proper notifications to local emergency response organizations, such as fire or police. Once the emergency is passed, you'll be escorted to a safe location to exit the plant or will be instructed on what steps you will need to follow. The primary muster area is located in the employee parking lot. The secondary muster area is located across Pace Boulevard in the empty parking lot. Weather shelters and shelter-in-place locations are marked throughout the plant. Your Kraton representative will escort you to a safe shelter should an emergency occur. First aid kits and AEDs, fire extinguishers, eye wash stations, spill kits, and other emergency response equipment is located in the plant. Hazard communication. We are committed to making your visit a safe one. Hazardous communication program includes safety data sheets, or SDSs, on every chemical on the plant site. SDSs are available 24 hours a day in the quality laboratory and online. The facility uses HMIS, NFPA, and GHS labels. There are various chemicals in the manufacturing, maintenance, and laboratory areas. Some of these, under certain conditions, may be hazardous. If you're bringing a chemical into the plant, you must first have it approved and provide an SDS for that chemical. Some of the chemicals used that have hazardous properties include boron trifluoride, BF3, flammable liquids, xylenes, naphtha, alpha-pinene, phenol, acetic acid, hot terpene phenolic resin, combustible dust. Kraton uses boron trifluoride, or BF3, is a toxic acid gas that reacts with moisture in the air to form a white vapor cloud that can damage respiratory system and skin on contact. If you see a white vapor cloud, evacuate upwind. If you come into contact with the chemical, flush skin and eyes. Flammable liquids, xylenes, naphtha, alpha-pinene are flammable chemicals that have a flash point of less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. They have a mild reversible liver effect, cardiac sensitization. Effects on hearing, central nervous system, depression, and oral poisoning can damage the kidneys and bladder. They can also irritate the skin and eyes, requiring flushing for 15 minutes should you come into contact with them. Kraton also uses phenol. That is a combustible and corrosive liquid. Contact with skin, especially in high volumes, is immediately life-threatening. It causes numbness and severe burns when it contacts the skin or eyes. It can also impact the central nervous system, heart, lungs, kidneys, and blood vessels. Any contact will require you to flush with large volumes of water for at least 15 minutes after removing contaminated clothing. Another chemical hazard at our site is combustible dust. It presents a fire or explosion hazard when suspended in the air over a range of concentrations. If an initial explosion occurs from combustible dust, it may shake loose more accumulated dust, resulting in one or more secondary explosions. To prevent combustible dust hazards, do not use sparking tools and do not use cell phones in the area. Additional chemicals used at Kraton facility include terpene phenolic resin that is non-hazardous as a solid, but as a liquid is a burn hazard, and when flaked, the dust is combustible. There are other materials used on site that are not hazardous. Your attention to these chemicals while visiting our facility is imperative for your safety and the safety of others. Some of the processes within the facility are covered under various regulatory agencies. These agencies require that contractors are aware of the hazards at our site and that we work together to ensure you work safely. Some of the processes within the facility are covered under EPA's Risk Management Program. These processes are considered significant environmental, health, and safety aspects and have been evaluated for impact to the surrounding community. Kraton is regulated by OSHA's Process Safety Management (PSM) program. PSM refers to a set of interrelated approaches to managing hazards associated with the process industries, and it's intended to reduce the frequency and severity of incidents resulting from releases of chemicals and other energy sources. OSHA's regulation is intended to prevent catastrophic events at chemical manufacturing facilities. It applies to 138 hazardous chemicals. We have one, BF3. It also applies to flammable chemicals stored on site with a flash point less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit in quantities greater than 10,000 pounds. We have two, alpha-pinene and our Kraton solvent blend. Kraton conducts rigorous process hazard reviews and hazard analysis on these practices. Contractors must conduct suitable risk assessments. Before starting, all method statements and/or risk control measures shall be explained by the contractor to contractor personnel performing the work. This site is regulated by Florida Department of Environmental Protection and has air and storm water permits. If there's an upset that creates excess emissions or a spill to a storm drain, report it immediately to your contact. Kraton's life-critical procedures include the following: excavation, safe work permit, working on energized equipment, working from height, opening process lines or line breaking, hot work, confined space entry, control of hazardous energy. Kraton has a zero-tolerance policy for Kraton employees who do not follow our life-critical procedures. For safety purposes, contractors must obtain a safe work permit daily. Additional permits may be required based on the nature of the work. The contract coordinator will determine what additional permits are needed. If there is an emergency, all safe work permits are considered void and will have to be completed again. Contractor-specific training. Because your safety is important to us, all contractors performing hazardous work shall receive additional training. If you're a contractor and are new to the site, you'll be asked to complete more training on our safe work process and life-critical procedures. Contractors will additionally receive visitor pamphlet, PPE matrix, PSM test, method statements, SWP, and other 8 LCP forms, hard hat stickers. Contractor safety information is reviewed or requested from your employer on an annual basis. This review includes verifying approving scores from ISN Network, contractor training records that include forklift, cranes, electrical, firewatch, welding, etc., and contractor background checks for those working in secure areas at our site. Responsible care. Our site is committed to continued improvement to environmental health, safety, and security, and therefore are certified under Responsible Care 14001-2015. We are committed to being an industry leader in HSE&S performance through the following guiding principles. We are compliant, respectful, and ethical. We act with integrity, and we expect the same from our customers and suppliers. We design and operate our sites and processes in a manner that ensures the safety and security of our employees, contractors, environment, and the communities where Kraton facilities are located. We support our customers and suppliers to help ensure that Kraton products and raw materials are handled, transported, and processed in a safe, secure, and environmentally responsible manner. We communicate openly and honestly with our stakeholders the hazards and risks associated with our products and operations, and we regularly report progress on our HSE&S and sustainability performance. We focus on good corporate citizenship, giving due consideration to sustainable use of resources, reduction of emissions and environmental impacts, and improve product safety during all stages of our product lifecycle. We adhere to the responsible care guiding principles and continually improve our HSE&S management systems to enhance our performance. We set goals and objectives that demonstrate our core values of safety and integrity. The risks and hazards have been evaluated at our site. Each hazard has controls in place to protect employees, contractors, and visitors. Commitment to quality. As you've learned, we are committed to your safety. We are equally committed to quality of our products and services, operations, processes, and procedures. Our plan is ISO 9001:2015 certified. A global leader in the development and production of chemical products, we set goals to provide goods and services that exceed expectations and strive for constant continual improvement in all aspects of operations. This is accomplished through internal teamwork and through cooperation with our suppliers, clients, business partners, and with you, as we count on you to follow safety procedures and communicate with us any questions or concerns you may have. At the conclusion of your visit, return to the guardhouse where you must swipe out with your visitor's badge. Return your badge and sign out in the guest register prior to leaving the plant. This is very important since the guest register is used to account for all visitors in the event of a plant emergency. Kraton is dedicated to providing a safe and healthy workplace for both employees and all who visit. We trust you are committed to the same and will work with us in advancing this goal. If you have any questions, please discuss with the Kraton representative who arranged your visit. Thank you for visiting and be safe.